Good. So we're just going to wait for Tiana and we are going to get started. But thank you for coming in today and, being here with us at Next Step. Are you excited?
I'm super excited, super pumped to get down and dirty into the topics. So,
okay, while we wait for Tiana, I think it'll only be right for you to just share, your experiences real quick and let us know who you are.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in today. My name is Anemika Pajeku. I am a junior at St. John's University. I currently reside in Montgomery County, Maryland. Aside from being a college student, I am a Amazon Prime campus manager. So that means, I help spread the Amazon Prime student benefits with college students at my campus and other colleges around the New York area, as well as, create content on my social media to share with my audience as well. But that's kind of like the brief gist of what I do.
Okay.
And I see we have Tiana here. Hello, Tiana. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here with y'all. Thank y'all.
Of course. Now, would you mind giving us a brief introduction as to who you are and, letting everyone know, what you're here for today?
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Tiana Ruffin. I am a senior strategic communications major, marketing minor, and I go to Hampton University. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Right now, I really don't know what to call myself. Just a student that's trying to, find their way. And if I can do anything to help anyone else, that's just what I want to do. Right now, I have been trying to work on my business, my small business. It's called Tiana and the Show Marketing, where we do basically a creative agency where we do logos, flyers, rebranding for different small businesses, content creation, social media management. That's all what I do. So I just basically want to, have that platform where I can help any small businesses that I can. So that's what I'm working on right now. So yeah.
Awesome. And Deandra, would you also mind sharing with the audience today your experiences within the publicity realm?
Okay, not a problem. So, hey guys, as you can see, I'm juggling as a panelist and also moderating. But yes, for those who do not know, I actually am doing a grad program right now at Brooklyn College, and I'm studying media studies. And in addition to that, I have had many different internships in publicity. So far I've worked and done work with BET. I was also able the opportunity for me to do publicity work with Atlantic Records and Rock Nation briefly. So those were like a couple of companies that I've worked with and I've been doing so far, and it's been really great. And similar to Tiana, I'm also dabbling in a little bit of content creation as well. I think, as creators, we always have to branch out for all the things that we love, but I was actually an English major in my undergrad career. So I think that all came full circle with me being a creative and getting into the publicity world. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for being here today. Now, Deandra, you did mention that you were an English major in undergrad, and Tiana, I don't remember if you mentioned what your major is today, but I'm a biology major, yet I'm into the content creation and the marketing and the social media and all that. So Deandra, I don't know if you would mind starting off, but would you mind sharing what inspired you to dive into the publicity realm, even though your major was English? And then Tiana, you could, jump in as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I would say publicity was very interesting to me because I made this pivot after I graduated from college. So just to give a disclaimer, I was not really into media when I was an undergrad. I didn't really have the opportunity at the institution that I attended. And I really made that decision to pivot after I graduated. And that's why I decided to go get my master's degree. So if anyone is kind of struggling in that area and they may not know what to do after they graduate, I would definitely say you can go that route. And I wouldn't mind sharing some tips with you guys as well as a grad student and leveraging myself to get those internships. Being hungry and knowing how important communications is, especially corporate communications. And when you kind of look how that comes into play with a publicist of you, shaping the narrative for whoever that may be in the music realm, whether that may be for a fashion brand or company. I think those things were very important. And a publicist as well, a good publicist does a lot of research. As an intern, I've made a lot of Excels. I've done a lot of research, handed them off to my supervisors and my bosses for when they had meetings so that they can be prepared to speak about their clients. So I would say that's where the the English major definitely came in handy for that. And
Yeah.
I'm low-key a nerd at heart, so that helps.
Awesome. Tiana, do you have any experience? Would you mind sharing your experiences? What drives you or what inspired you to dive into this realm?
Yeah. Okay, so basically, I love social media. Social media is just an amazing way for us as small businesses to just, be able to really excel and succeed. So, I will always hear from people all the time, like, your Instagram, like, it's so good. Like, your brand is this, your brand is that. And I'm like, my brand, like, this is just my feed. I don't really know what y'all talking about, but, so that's where it all kind of started for me. And hearing all the feedback about did and how people wanted to know how I did it and things like that. On my internship, I haven't had like the experience that Deandra had with the research and one-on-one PR stuff. But for me, and my intern was at Essence, so I was on the magazine side. I was doing PR for the magazines month by month type of issues. So that's where I got the experience from. So combining my lessons from Essence and then the lessons that I've learned from just, being on social media, building my brand, building other people's brands, that kind of have steered me into the, I want to do PR full time type
thing. Nice. Awesome. So within your experiences or even before you jumped into this this realm of publicity, did you guys meet anyone cool? Like, is there someone that inspires you or that's a role model to you that pushes you to, work harder and like achieve your goals? And if so, like what about them inspires you and pushes you to succeed?
Okay, so mine is gonna sound kind of funny, but I'm gonna say Olivia Pope from Scandal. That was like watching her, even though it was it was based off of a true person, but the character was made up. Watching her, all I could think about was, I want to be better than her. I want to think smarter than her. I want to do that better than her. And that's where my motivation came from. And then after that, I really don't really have that many role models, but I can say just Black creatives in general motivates me every day. Motivates me every day just to keep pushing, just to keep, connecting with others and, wanting to be better. And, because we just want to represent. So I just want to be able to be a part of that representation and just seeing all the other Black creatives out here. Like, it's so many of us. So it's so many of us. So I'm so excited for this conference right now, but it's so many of us. And I just want us to be able to, just keep motivating each other, because at the end of the day, we're all we have.
Yeah. No, I think Tiana touched on a really great point. I've met a lot of cool people, but I don't know. I met a lot of cool celebrities, but I usually don't get starstruck. So that, I just try to treat it as a job. But one thing I can say, what's interesting about Publicity is because when I first started off in entertainment and wanting to know more about the industry, I didn't really know that publicity was my thing. It took me time to figure out what my thing was. At first, I thought it was social media, and that didn't really work well. And then I tried publicity. I'm like, okay, I actually like this. Like, I can stick to this. And also, I really want to, after I finish with my master's program, is to go into become an entertainment attorney. So it's an interesting pivot of how I'm trying to use my skills. But I think it's as young people and as young creatives, as Tiana mentioned, definitely keeping your options open and being open to different opportunities that may come and seeing where you may love it and it becomes something that, becomes your day job. I think what's really great and what Tiana mentioned about creatives in general, I don't know if anyone attended CultureCon this year. Imani Ellis and her team was like really great on putting an ambiance that really amplified Black voices and creatives of different colors and diversity, no matter who you were. And, being like bold and owning that. So I'm really excited for what the future is to come for creatives.
Nice. Now you guys have mentioned, like some pretty cool experiences that you've had, and in terms of like your professionalism and like, where you've worked and things like that. But I wanted to get into asking you guys, what was it like when you landed that first gig where you're like, okay, I'm in here, like I have my foot in the door. What was it like when you first landed that first big gig? And what advice do you have for anyone who's looking to still get their first, big gig and get their foot into the door. I mean, whether it be an internship or an actual, job, real world.
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
So like I mentioned to you guys before, I did not have any media or entertainment experience. My things were more like criminal justice involved and stuff when I was an undergrad. So my first big internship was actually at Atlantic Records. And I told myself that after I get this one internship, I'm just going to leverage it and continue to move from there. The department that I was in, I was an intern for the CEO of the company, which is Craig Cowman. So for all my music heads, and you guys would know who that is because he's responsible for many of the artists that you listen to today. Basically, I just took that experience for me to really learn and for me to grow and for me to network and find out what I like. Honestly, from there, I think it also exposed me to many different programs like RTS, T. Howard, for those, Emma Bowen, for those who are interested in media, and it's been able to really catapult from there. I also forgot to mention that I was doing 2 internships actually at once. I totally forgot. Yes. So I actually did an internship with Team Epiphany as well, and I was doing public relations alongside me doing Atlantic Records. That was just only my thing because I didn't have any experience and I was trying to fast track myself a little bit faster so I can get a full-time job and have those skills. But for those who are definitely in undergrad, I would say, do one internship because doing 2 is crazy doing school as well.
Yeah.
But I would say also branch yourself out. So if you're doing publicity, maybe for a magazine, maybe you could try to do it for sports or for music. Those things always come in handy when you're doing, interviews for another position.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. As far as wanting to branch out into the different fields of PR. For me, since I did magazine PR last summer, this summer I, applied to sports PR internships because I want to see, what I really, really want to do in the future. So I definitely agree with, branching out and just, dipping into everything so you can make the decision that's best for you. My other advice would just be to don't be afraid to fail. That's what I have to say. Because when you asked about how did you first feel when you got that first big thing, like I kind of started tearing up because I remember exactly how I felt. I was in class, my beginner PR class. It was crazy. My beginner PR class, and I got a call from New York, some number. I was supposed to be presenting my like final PR class project, and I'm like, let me take this. Like, I'm not supposed to take this right now, but let me take this. And I took the call, and it was Essence, and they were like, we want to offer you the internship, and we just sent you your offer letter. And I looked at my email, and I was like, this is not real. This is not real. Because every internship I had applied to, say, I got that internship my junior year. So freshman year, I was applying. Sophomore year, I was applying. Everyone turned me down. Every person turned me down. I never understood, like, what I was doing wrong. I always felt like, is it something on my resume? Like, what is it?
Right.
And so I just felt like nobody wanted me. And by that time, like I said, it was finals. That was finals. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get an internship this summer. Like, it's over.
Right.
And so I was just like, this is just failure after failure after failure. And I just felt so defeated, basically. And when I got that call, I was just like, wow, like all these internships that I just applied to just because said no to me. But the internship that I really, really wanted, that I knew that I would learn so much from, said yes to me. So I was just like, wow, like that was just an amazing feeling just to, go through all of that feeling of defeat and then having that one yes that basically changes your life, basically. Right. And so that's how I felt when I first got my first big break. And then the other advice I would say is just, if things aren't going the way that you really, really want them to, please redirect. Just redirect. Like, if PR may not be exactly what you want to do or whatever, it could be, content creation. It could be, brand management. It could be social media management. You never know what you can really get into until you try. Don't just feel defeated and just give up. Redirect. Like, it's so many aspects in this field that you should never feel like there's nothing you can do.
Right.
Right, exactly. So I would say redirect. I would say ask for advice. Networking is key. Always, always, always hit somebody in their DM like, "Hey, girl, I saw you worked here." Like, da da da. Like, that's just how you do. And if people are rude to you, then that's not who you need to connect with. But it's plenty of people out here. Like, look at how many people are on this call right now. There's plenty of people out here that want to connect with you. So don't be afraid to ask for advice. And then, like I said, don't be afraid to fail, because there's going to be a lot of people that tell you no, but there's going to be that one yes that will change your life.
Right. Absolutely. That's awesome. So Tiana, you kind of dabbled into the next question, which was, and Deandra, maybe you could speak on this as well.
Okay.
Out of this realm and this profession, the publicity, entertainment, media realm, how did you know, or you might not know yet, but what can you speak to about choosing the avenue that is for you? Because Tiana, you mentioned dabbling into different ones, like at how you're applying to sports internships now after you've had the experience at Essence. What can you guys speak to about dabbling into different realms and finding the one that is for you? And how do you think you guys will know, all right, this is the avenue that I want to go down, and this is going to lead me to my goals and my achievements?
Yeah, Nemika, that's a really great question. And for those who may not even necessarily even be interested in publicity, and maybe you're into business, or maybe you're into, into law, and you're trying to figure out, if this is really for you. One thing I would say is the company that you intern at definitely shapes your perspective when you're going into your career. Mm-hmm. One thing I really want to point out, and something that my mentors always told me, let's say, for example, if you're looking to go into the corporate right after graduation, and you're looking to make the big bucks, definitely get those corporate experiences while you're in undergrad. See how they treat their employees. Look at what their benefits package looks like. See if everybody's happy. What is the work-life balance looking like? Now, some people may think I'm crazy because I'm still in grad school interning, but essentially, when you're doing an internship, that's kind of your foot in the door, and you don't necessarily have to have that full-time commitment like an employee. If things are not working out, or if you don't think it's great, you just, thug it out, and then you finish it off for the semester. But when you're locked into a full-time contract, you can't just leave the same. And again, a lot of people that I've seen that I graduated with took full-time jobs and roles in places that they weren't necessarily not even in love with, but they found out that it wasn't really what they wanted to do. So one thing I would say that's helped me to figure out for publicity is the company that I'm working for, how they're treating me, the opportunities that I'm able to have, and then also looking at how can I leverage this into the next thing? You could use publicity to go into maybe a marketing position, to a brand marketing position, because essentially publicity is marketing. Publicity is social. You're rubbing shoulders with everybody who's working in that department, whether you're working with a musical artist or with a brand. So definitely think about how you can leverage your internships and be intentional. Because like Tiana mentioned, I did do a sports internship in publicity. And now, if I want to use those skills to go over to the sports world, I can speak to that. If I want to go over to the music world, I can speak to that. So just always be intentional.
Yeah. For me, I would just say that I've kind of figured out what I like to do through my small business. So, like I said, I've done logos, flyers, content creation, social media management, all of that, PR, press releases, all of that. But I've learned through all of that logos is not my thing. I do not like doing logos. I hate having to keep going over like somebody. I send it to somebody and then they're like, "Oh, I don't like it. Can you do it over again and again and again?" I hate that. So logo is not for me. So I would just say to keep, trying things over and over and over, and just see what you like and you don't like, because that's just, you have to dabble in things to figure it out. Just like a relationship, you gotta see if you like somebody. You gotta see if you don't like somebody. So just see what you want to fall in love with, and what you just really, really, really just, just, I don't even know the word. It's just things that come easy to you. Like for me, brand management comes easy to me. Logos does not come easy to me. So I'm not even gonna try to, press myself to do that because I don't like it. So for me, brand management comes easy. Somebody can say, I want to do an organization for this. I can make a whole brand kit in 30 minutes. Like, that's just me, because I can see a vision, I can execute it, and I can do it. but that doesn't come easy to everybody. So you just really have to see what comes easy to you, what you enjoy doing, what you can enjoy doing and getting paid for doing it, because that we don't work for free. But yeah, so just doing that, and I think that would really help people really figure out what they want to
do. Absolutely. And, you know, I think you both hit on some really big points, because it is important to enjoy doing what you are doing, because you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that, you know, you enjoy it, because you need to make a living out of this. This is how you're going to eat and feed the people that you love and all of that. Now, getting into the next question, you guys have had, you know, again, great experiences. What advice do you have for anyone who has been trying to get, you know, land their first thing, but just hasn't had it yet? You know, what would you say in regards to follow-up emails, resumes, you know, applying, the right places to apply, you know, going in person? Like, what could you speak to that?
I would definitely say your resume has to tailor to the job that you are applying to. I tell this to all my friends. I tell this to anybody who asks me to redo their resume for them. It has to tailor to what you're applying to. If you are applying to a PR job, there's no reason you should have McDonald's on your resume. They don't care about that. They don't care. Like, they want to see what you've done in that field. If you've done social media, if you are applying to a social media management internship, you need to have the social media accounts that you run. You need to say how you run it, how you branded them, how you know, like, just things that tailor to that job. And it may not be, you know, it may not work for every internship that you're applying to. So you may have to do some work and switch it up a bit. Have two, you know, resumes. I have two resumes. One is for social media management internships and one is for PR internships, because I've done many things in PR and I've done many things in social media management, but I don't want my resume to be, you know, OD long, because nobody's reading all that. And we know that. You want to have your resume at least a page. You don't want it to be OD, because they're going to print it out, look at it, and go to the next person's resume. So you don't want it to be 3 or 4 things that they can see, like, oh, boom, like this is what they've done. They qualify for this internship, and we probably can use them, and they probably can be the best person to benefit our company. So I would just say, definitely make sure your resume is tailored to the internship that you are trying to get.
Yeah, those are really great points, Tiana. One thing I really have to say, just like how we kind of echoed in the first panel about internship to full-time job, guys, we have to learn how to be, one, proactive with the application that we're applying with online. So anyone who knows me, all my friends know, when I apply to a position, it doesn't stop there. Like, I'm finding the director who's working in that department. I'm looking for you on LinkedIn. I'm looking at who you're connected with in your department. I'm seeing who did the job posting on LinkedIn. This is why LinkedIn Premium is such a great option, because you can actually see the job poster who put the application online, and then you can even contact them directly. But one thing I have found, which has been, it depends on which industry that you're applying for, but I know that most people's bet would be to talk to the person in human resources first when they're looking for a position. But just a tip, it would be better if you would hit up the person directly that you'd be working with, because if Nemika's my boss and Tiana's the HR person, I can reach out to Tiana. But if I really impress Nemika, he's going to be like, you know what, Tiana, you just close the applications. I already found the person I want to, but set up the interview. And from there, I think that there's more success in that when you're able to talk to the person directly. And, you know, if you have to do some digging around on LinkedIn, like, do that. If you have to, you know, find them through email, even Instagram. I wouldn't recommend DMing someone about a job on Instagram, but maybe you can use that information to find their email address if they put it in their bio. But yeah, have a nice clean template and send that over so we can, you know, have what you want.
Yeah, my mentor definitely taught me that trick. When I told her what type of internship I wanted last summer, she said, okay, you're going to get it. Let's get it. Like, she said, where do you want to be? Let's look at who the top execs are. Let's look at who is running the PR department, so you can message them specifically, because those are the people they're going to be asking, who do you want to intern? Who do you want to intern for you?
Right.
And then they're going to say, oh, well, I want this person. So that is definitely something I learned from my mentor. So yes, y'all should really do that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Now, how important is how important is following up with these people? Like, I know some people, they may see it as, following up with these people who you want to work for may be like kind of unprofessional, like you're nagging them or you're bothering them. But, some people are like, oh no, like it's not that bad. Like, they get a lot of messages from a lot of people who want those positions. So do you have any advice or any tips for people who are wondering, like, how can I step up my game and show them, like, I'm really serious about this, and I'm gonna, stay on them until I get what's needed from them.
Yeah, I think it becomes a waiting game sometimes. Sometimes you could be really waiting. I've waited sometimes to get information to people for like 2 months.
Mm.
And I will be there at that 2 months like, hi, I'm ready to I'm ready to speak to you. Hi, I'm Deandra. Like, I think you just wait. And then when that time comes, just make sure you don't waste their time, because if you waited a long time to get information with someone and then you didn't do your research, you were not prepared, you did not come with questions,
Mm.
You're asking obvious questions, and you definitely could have, butchered a relationship that could have been better for you and the other person.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely would say that same thing. I've had many people DM me about my internship, and one thing that is a kind of a pet peeve for me, I definitely don't mind giving out any advice or help or anything, but if it's on the website, don't ask me.
Right.
And I think that when people reach out to these executives or these people that they want to intern for, you have to make sure that the questions that you ask are, important and not something that you can already find on your own, because in their mind it's like, you're wasting my time. You don't want to waste their time.
Right.
Make sure that you use their time to get what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can help each other. And that's not going to happen if you're just asking questions that you can look up on www.
That's so obvious.
Right, exactly. So yeah, just make sure if you're going to do those follow-up emails, because I do follow-up emails all the time. But I don't do, after one time, if they don't really hit me back, I don't really keep responding or keep emailing them, just because I don't want to be naggy. But
Right.
My first email is my resume, it's my cover letter, my email, my phone number,
Everything.
all the information all the information that they need in one email. So we don't have to keep going back and forth. So they don't have to say, well, where is your resume? Where is your cover? So just have everything in that one email the first time, so they can just look at it all at once, and then they can decide if they want to, hit you back, and then that's where it'll go from there. Because if they hit you back, it's like, oh, so they like what they see. So let me push for a little more, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now my last question for you ladies today is going to be, if there was one thing that you knew that you wish you would have known before, landing these great experiences, what would it have been?
I'm going to just drop it in one line. People who talk about work-life balance, and how our mentors and people we may see on panels, they may talk about that work-life balance thing. I think it even starts from now when you're young. That work-life balance thing is really important. Just keep that in mind, whatever position that you're looking for. That work-life balance, to keep you sane.
Yes. Tiana?
I would say the internship that you get, talk to everyone there.
Okay.
Talk to the video department. Talk to the editorial department. Talk to the PR department. Talk to marketing. Talk to, e-commerce. Talk to everybody there. Get everybody's information. Ask them, what do you like about this? What don't you like about this? How do you think that this, can be improved? How can I help you with this? Like, just get to know everyone there, and ask to see if you can maybe shadow a different department for a week or something like that. Just see the different things. And I will also say to keep those connections. Like, you really want to keep those connections, because you're building your network. At these internships, you're building your network. Your internship class, that is your network that you're going to, moving forward, and, having those connections. You just want to really be able to connect. That's all I can say. Connect with the employees there, the supervisor, the CEO. Like, if you're lucky enough to have the CEO the owner of whatever the company is walking around, oh, you better go introduce yourself. You better go introduce yourself, and you better make sure that person knows who you are by the time you leave that internship.
Right.
Definitely. Connect, network.
Connecting. Well, thank you so much, ladies, so much for joining me today and being such great panelists. Please do leave your information in, the chat where everyone else could see it if you wouldn't mind them hitting you up to get to know you more and learn more from you. But yeah, it was great getting to know you guys more. And
thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, y'all can follow me at Tiana's Journal on Instagram. I'm so open to DMs, everything. Just don't ask me questions that's on the website.
Right.
And my Instagram too is _I am Deandra. You guys can find me there. You can find me on LinkedIn, Deandra Simon. I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys. Thank you. Okay.